It has been said that lack of control is the most basic form of trauma. In this video series, you're being invited to shift your focus toward responding with compassion, connection, and empowerment in the classroom. Our focus today is on empowerment. Think of a time when you were taken seriously or treated fairly. Think of a time when you were involved in making decisions that affected you. Those examples were times when you felt empowered. Let's define our key terms. Power is the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. While there's nothing inherently wrong with power, you can see how it could be perceived as a tool used to control people and the environment. To empower is to give power or authority to someone, to strengthen one's confidence and belief that they have some control in life. In previous videos, we've looked at adverse childhood experiences and their impact on the brains and behaviors of students, and we've explored strategies to respond with compassion to those behaviors. EchoTraining.org is an excellent resource for developing trauma-responsive practices at home and in the classroom. Of their 7 trauma-responsive guidelines, let's focus on number 5, practice power with strategies. One of the hallmarks of trauma is a loss of power and control. As adults, we should use our power well. If we model a power with relationship, it's our best chance of creating adults who will treat others with dignity and respect. Shared power promotes healing and growth for young people who felt a loss of power through adverse experiences. Shared power in the classroom is based on connected relationships. A connected relationship is one in which the student feels safe, seen, noticed, heard, and valued, despite their labels, diagnoses, or behavioral issues. Also, when we share power, students have voice and choice. We give students voice when we take time to truly hear them and their ideas. We give students choice when we free ourselves from always being the decision maker. According to Search Institute, there are several reasons to share power with students. Shared power minimizes unnecessary power struggles. It invites us to move away from a "because I said so" mentality and to reserve authoritarian approaches for situations in which students are in danger and must respond to our commands immediately. Shared power provides opportunities for appropriate developmental progress. Obviously, shared power looks quite different in a kindergarten classroom than in a high school setting. Knowing what we can realistically expect from our students allows us to incrementally turn more responsibility over to them. Shared power allows students to become more confident, responsible, and motivated. When we genuinely celebrate examples of students exercising voice and choice, they begin to recognize that they have agency, regardless of disempowering experiences they may have had outside of the classroom. Shared power encourages students to communicate, negotiate, and problem solve. When students have voice and choice, there is more room for disagreement. Rather than being a drawback to shared power, these disagreements provide valuable opportunities to practice the negotiation skills that prepare students for their adult lives. 2 arenas for empowering students are academics and classroom management. To share academic power, ask yourself these questions. Can I invite students to choose which assignment to complete, to decide how they will be assessed, and to take a more active role in assessment? It's easy to find self-assessment tools like these for any grade level, or consider how you might include students in creating self-assessment tools that align with your assignments. To share classroom management power, ask yourself these questions. How can students collectively set classroom expectations, participate in holding one another accountable to those expectations, and be involved in deciding consequences when expectations are not met? Shared power can have a positive impact on students' disruptive behaviors. When students participate in setting expectations and holding one another accountable, they have higher stakes in their learning environment. When students have a voice and choice in academic decisions, this ownership of learning often leads to greater focus on content-related tasks. When students are invited to determine consequences, they're less likely to see teachers as adversaries and more likely to see them as partners in the learning process. All of these outcomes decrease the likelihood that students will respond to mild stressors in disruptive ways. Despite our best efforts to respond with compassion, connection, and empowerment, the reality is that we regularly encounter disruptive behaviors in the classroom. In our next video, we'll explore a few strategies for addressing those disruptive behaviors. We'll see you then.